All right. Well, what is up, everybody? This is Keith James. Thank you for getting guy 231 across the state for Street. This is going to be a quick edition of the UCL preview. You might not be able to hear my voice, but I've been under the weather the last few days. Not feeling all that great. Certainly not able to do like a 25-minute preview like a lot of times I try to do for the 6-game UCL slate. So gonna just jump right into it, see how long my voice can hold up, and hopefully get us onto some good plays. So just a quick reminder to like, subscribe, comment. It's greatly appreciated, especially when I'm feeling like, you know what, to get a little bit of encouragement. So, all right, as you can see, I just brought the Draftkings screen. Then we'll go game by game, but my little core, just kind of the first 3 clicks I'm working on off of is Paulo Dybala at home, must-win game versus Juventus. The Lewandowski himself. We'll talk about Bayern first, but I just think that ultimately you have to have Bayern pieces. And you start looking at the prices and you go, okay, just isn't the best way just to attack this, just to take Lewandowski. And then finally, just depending on formation, I think Aaron Wan-Bissaka, if playing as a right wing back, we saw him have a really good game over the weekend. Makes a lot of sense at sub 4K, but there's going to be a lot of punt defenders I'll go over. So let's jump right into it. So first game, and the most important game slate, is Bayern hosting Benfica. Benfica actually held their own at home versus Bayern for a while. Floodgates open the last like 20 minutes or so. And I think that in just a lot of ways, they're just overmatched here. And here's kind of where we go with Lewandowski and why he's going to be core play for me. So if we go to the forward position, right, we just go Bayern alone. Let's just go utility, actually. Okay, so we got Leroy Sané 10.5, right? Do you want to pay 10.5 or do you just want to find 2,000 for Lewandowski? I'm just going to find 2,000 for Lewandowski, especially considering all the options that could come for Sané, right? We have Gnabry, we could have, depending on if Coman starts, you know, let's see what they have. They have Coman starting here, but you have Musiala. You have all these different attackers that could go out wide, but you really only have Lewandowski. And ultimately, Bayern's whole system is to feed Lewandowski. So for 2,000 different, I'm playing Lewandowski. Thomas Miller for 9,700, I'm playing Lewandowski. Serge Gnabry, midfield only, mind you, 9,500. I'm just playing Lewandowski. Where I maybe start debating it as Kingsley Coman at 8,000, I think makes a lot of sense to maybe say 4,500. You know, Kingsley Coman, a very, very good DFS player. But maybe you just play 2 of them, right? Maybe you drop Dybala. Like ultimately, you want as many of like the minus 550 guys as you can get, right? And let's see what the total is. It's going to be a big total. You know, over 3.5, and most of that's for Bayern. So again, and then Joshua Kimmich 8,400 just over the weekend. I think Kimmich, on these previews, I've stressed so many times these deep lying midfielders, despite how good they are, if they have monopoly set pieces, Joshua Kimmich is arguably the world's best deeper lying playmaking midfielder on set pieces. But if the script goes wrong and they don't get a lot of sets or they don't get a goal or assist, you're screwed. And like this weekend in the Bundesliga site, I think Kimmich ended up with like 7 or 8 DK and Bayern scored 5 goals. I think he had 1 corner. Sané took the other. It can get dark. So you know, I think 84 for Kimmich is tough, just not giving you that upside. So again, what does all this mean? All roads lead back to Robert Lewandowski. Even the defenders aren't going to be that cheap. Davies 5,200, Pavard 46. I think we need to save money. So again, all this being done, could you play 2? Could you in GPP play more? Could you fade Lewandowski and just play like the midline of Sané, Miller, Kilman? Yeah, nobody's going to do that. But in cash, I think you need Bayern. The easiest way to do it, just play Lewandowski and move on. For Kimmich will take a majority of their set pieces. When Sané is on, he can take some. On the Benfica side, those set pieces have lately been a set monopoly to João Mario. Let's see if he's cheap enough that we could even punt with him. Yes, 3,300. We can definitely punt João Mario. Here's the only thing I'll just say from a GPP lens and maybe even cash. The only cash play is going to be João Mario. Right. Actually, I'm going to see what Grimaldo's price is. 3,800 Grimaldo. I can get aboard that too. I think there's some better places right at 38 and 3,700. But you know, Yaremchuk in sub 5K. Nunez is really cheap. Bayern has been allowing goals. Neuer has had to make a lot of big saves. So Benfica will get some chances. That's why I think 3,300 João Mario definitely in play. All right. Juventus and Zenit. Juventus at home playing like absolute, I don't want to say a curse word and get YouTube mad at me, but absolute garbage. They need a win. They've been in like lockdown by oh my god, by Allegri to get them back focused. So we'll see if that works. I think Paulo Dybala will be very, very chalk in cash, especially we saw him take both sides corners last week. When he's been on the pitch, he's been taking at least a share, a lot of times splitting with Cuadrado or Chiesa. But he's by far been the most dynamic playmaker they have. With them being a home favorite at minus 182 at that 9,300 price tag, I think it's just very, very attractive. And ultimately, even if you don't like crazy about Juventus, you go, well, Paulo Dybala gives me a double-digit floor and big upside. So you just kind of settle on him. Look, the rest of these Juve pieces are going to be really low owned. Not only in cash but GPP, like a Dybala Chiesa stack or Dybala Morata stack, and this game goes like 3-0 or 3-1, I think you are really shooting up the leaderboards. But anybody else in Juventus is GPP only. Juan Cuadrado, this isn't the Cuadrado that we've seen in past years, or even in international. It's just he's been very low ceiling. He's getting you not even like the 4 you want at his price. He's giving like in Serie A games 7 to 10 DK. That's not going to cut it here at his price. So I think he's a pass. For Zenit, I think there's a lot of interesting plays. So I just want to make sure I get these prices right for you. On Sutomorin and Kiraviev. Kiraviev is 2,700. Let me get that game off. Sutomin is 5,400, no chance. But Kiraviev is $2,700 wingback. Douglas Santos has been hurt. I think he will miss here. Let's see if Sofa has. Yeah, they already have him out. Kiraviev has been playing his place. Doesn't cross the ball a ton, but it's 2,700 wingback. What else do you want for 2,700? The interesting play is Yaroslav Rakitic. If you can remember back to, oh God, not Sparta Moscow. Oh, why am I blinking? It's gonna bug me. Oh well. They're in the Champions League. I just can't, or I'm sorry, they're in Europa League right now. Ukrainian team. Anyhow, Yaroslav Rakitic was a guy as a center back that would take set pieces, and for the first slate or two, there wasn't Opta data, so you didn't know he was on them, and it would tilt your face off. And then you were like, "Am I going to pay 4,200 for a center back on majority of set pieces?" Well, here's back Monopoly set pieces. He's my so rare hero. Have him in 2 teams, and he just got almost 100 this past weekend. But he's top Monopoly set piece taker, 3,800. Look, Juventus is likely going to have like a 60-40 split on possession, but that doesn't mean that Rakitic, I always want to say Ratsitsky, it's Rakitsky. He was probably going to get like 3 to 4 DK from passes, interceptions, fouls drawn, tackles, things like that. Now if he talks on like 4 or 5 set pieces, a shot assist or 2, all of a sudden we're in this like 6, 7, 8 range for 3,800, which makes a ton of sense, especially if you're going to try to fit Dybala, Lewandowski, maybe you're trying to get a Bruno or one more stud in there. I think he makes a lot of sense. For GPP, because Juventus has looked leaky, they have allowed 2 goals in the last 2 games to not great Serie A teams. Azmoun, sub 5K, really, really talented player. You might even see Jumba come in later or start along beside him. They both work. Claudinho has been really good in the Russian league. Those would be my looks. Sevilla versus Leo. I don't have a lot in this game. Sevilla is like one of the most tilting DFS teams. If you play Interleague or you play La Liga showdowns, they just sub everybody. They use all their subs. Like there was just a slate. Acuna is a really good DFS player. There was just a slate like last week. He got 0 DK. He subbed at halftime after getting a yellow card. 0, like legit 0. He was a core play for me. 0. So Acuna, and then Rakitic have actually were the ones that split sets the last weekend. Eric Lamela sometimes takes sets. Ocampos can take some sets. Set pieces are all over the place. You could see Papu Gomez, and he tries to take some sets. So it's kind of a mess. In the series, I think it's interesting for GPP punt. He's going to have high goal scoring odds, but he's likely going to get sub 2. He fell out of favor after he got a red card in a game that they needed to win. I don't remember that long ago, but I remember because he was in my lineup when he got a red card, and he kind of like fell out of favor. I don't know if he got hurt or just got benched, but yeah, that wasn't good. Navas, Navas is like the one guy that doesn't sub, which means now that I said it, he probably will. but has a really good floor. Probably gets you 7, 8, 90K. But the question becomes, do you spend like 5,200 for Jesus Navas, or do you do like Aaron Wan-Bissaka? We're going to get to Rakitsky. Could you do Grimaldo for 1,400 cheaper and use that price? I think you could. So, Sevilla is nice. I think that they're really good, interesting for GPP. They are -175 favorite at home. I don't think a lot of people are going to be on them. Certainly not going to be stacking them. So I like them for GPP, but I probably like them in GPP more than cash. Let's look at Rakitic because he takes PKs too. Rack. So 5,600, it's not great. I don't know. That's like almost too efficient. If anything, it almost feels overpriced. But he took some set pieces, takes some PKs, so or has. I know in the series taking some PKs too. Ocampos used to take them too, so I don't know. I think it's Rakitic. Anyhow, more love on the Leo side. We have potentially a really cheap Monopoly set piece taker, Renato Sanchez at 3,800. I think he'll be really popular. Former Bayern player, former Swansea legend. What was it last time? I pointed out on my Twitter, but I think they had him in a Juventus uniform for a bit on Draftkings last time. But he's 3,800. If you don't see Xhaka, he'll have a Monopoly set pieces. Bamba, took last year, so he could take some, but likely it's Renato. It's 3,800. It's set pieces. It's already a good player that's really aggressive in the midfield, so I like it a lot. Anybody else here is just GPP. Sevilla's a good team, especially at home. It's Renato. Move on. Play a goal scorer GPP. Go for it. Atalanta, Manchester United is a really important game. In a lot of ways, I think it's going to come down to how United line up and then, what you do with Bruno Fernandes. So United played that back three versus Tottenham, looked absolutely awesome that game. Bruno was okay, but Bruno absolutely dominated last leg versus Atalanta had, I think, 27 or 28 4 points, was over a lot of set pieces. If you see Tejas and Shaw, one of them probably has some in swingers. Normally it's been Shaw, but if he's in this back three, there's no chance I'm playing him. Tejas, what's his price? I think it's going to be too expensive. Yeah, 5,000, still too expensive. But Aaron Wan-Bissaka, I think, makes a lot of sense. 3,700. Had, I think, 7 or 8 floor points versus Spurs. This is going to be an open game. He's going to have opportunities to go forward and to get tackles. So Aaron Wan-Bissaka, a really good tackler. But, I'm kind of bearing the lead here. I think a lot just depends on what you do with Bruno. Like legitimately, guys and gals. Like, look at this game versus Atalanta. 3 shots. 1 on goal, 8 shots assisted, 13 crosses, 5,000 round, 34.5 DK. Take out the assists, take out 6, and that's 28.5 floor. I mean, Bruno's, we know Bruno's a boss. United needs a win. So I think he makes a ton of sense. And with a lot of value, with the Renatos, with a João Mario, Wan-Bissaka, Rakitsky, there's enough value to make 3 studs work. You could also play Cristiano Ronaldo, who, I listen to a lot of Gab and Jules. I think that's a really good podcast to listen to, not for DFS, but just for football. They've been talking about for a while that Ronaldo needs a second striker. He's better not playing wide or playing as a lone striker, playing with a second striker. Now, Cavani, I believe, is out. It says doubtful. But Marcus Rashford, his better position is actually as the second striker too. So maybe those two can be a good striker partnership. It would be really interesting. We know Atalanta is going to be really, really wide open. We can allow a lot of opportunities, going to get some themselves and allow them. So it should be a really good DFS game. I think Atalanta is going to come in like 0 owned. If this is the lineup, then Ilicic and probably Myers will split some sets. Zappacosta could be on some as well. No ownership on any of them. Zapata, if you're expecting a goal notification, I think there's a really good shot that Zapata's part of it. I think those plays make sense. All right. Losing the voice. Let's power through the rest. Villarreal and Young Boys, there's not much here. Dan Juma's been awesome for them, but Danny Parejo takes Monopoly set pieces. The issue with Danny Parejo here is his price. It's not very, very friendly at, what is it? It's like 7,400, I believe. Yeah, 7,300. It's really tough on the slate. But the biggest problem with Parejo is at 7,300 in a Champions League slate where there's going to be goals, you need some upside. So you need a goal or assist. I just don't necessarily know if you see it. So, could you go any of these other guys for a little more upside? Sure. It's just Parejo's the best cash play, and I don't know if it's a slate where you want to use that type of cash play. On the other side, ABS sure will take a majority of their set pieces. If you don't see him, you could see a guy like Sierra, jump on them, or Ulysses Garcia. But I don't think either of them are really in play from a cash optimal standpoint. Final game, Kiev and Barcelona. I'm putting this at the end because I want to play like a guy like Memphis Depay, but he's just so expensive. Like you're playing him in lieu of Lewandowski, and you go, do I want to play a struggling Barcelona side that really, really struggles to score the ball? Or do I want to play Lewandowski for a team that seems like they get 5 goals without really thinking about it? I think that decision's easy. So Serginho Dest, especially if he's playing advanced, I think he makes a lot of sense as a defender. If you want to spin it up, he's like 5,600. He's been really good in that position. He and Alba actually end up becoming kind of like wing backs, but Dest very much is forward. Should have scored in El Clasico. Should have scored last week. Maybe he's overdue for a goal here. Coutinho won't play 90 minutes. Memphis Depay is the guy that you play, or Dest or Alba. Like that's the pieces. Gavi would takes occasional set pieces, but he struggles to get there DFS wise. On the Kiev side, I think Shaparenko is like 4,200. He makes a lot of sense taking, I thought Senegev or Depena would take some set pieces they have in the past, but Shaparenko seems to be the guy that's taking them. I would probably prefer at the prices to look at those other guys for the savings, but if you ended up here, I would not hate it. I think though that Kiev's goalie will be pretty popular. Like I said, Barcelona has been really struggling to score the ball. Obviously, we know all of the what's the right word? The drama around them. Now they don't have Aguero; he's out for 3 months. So scoring is a problem. So even if they do finally score, could they get a lot of saves? Like remember when we're paying out a goalie, that's the goal, is to get saves, not necessarily looking for a clean sheet win. So I think if you are trying to do stars and scrubs, looking at Kiev's keeper makes a lot of sense. And it's never easy to go into these places. I don't even, where's Kiev? I'm blanking. Sorry, it's late. Cold medicine's taking into place, but all I know is like any of these places for like these big teams, going to these like smaller, venues where they don't get the big team, they don't get Barcelona's coming in any day, but the fans definitely make it tough on the players. So I think it makes a lot of sense to go that way. All right, I got nothing left. I hope this helped. Thank you all so much for watching. Good luck tomorrow. And once again, thank you. See you.